Recap on something that we talked about in class. I'd like to just show you layers. So let me come to the window and I'll go get layers. Everything is in alphabetical order. Let me clear some of this stuff off so we can see what we're doing. Everything is in alphabetical order, so we'll do layers. All right. We have one layer, layer one. So I will put a red circle on layer one. All right. And then I'll do, let me see, I'll do another circle. Yes, Kitty says she loves this. And so let me see, I'll show you pumpkin bloat. I'll get some added value in here. Pumpkin bloat, where are you? Let's see. Here we go, pucker and bloat. So pucker and bloat, the only reason I'm doing this is, there we go. Pucker and bloat is a filter. We'll talk about it next week, but it's just a way to do something really quickly. So here's my puckered and bloated circle with a star, and then I'll do one more. Let's see. I'll do it in yellow. I just want to be able to show you so that this makes sense. Finger on the Option key, finger on the Shift key, and I'll draw out from the center. All right, so I've got my little target. Now, as I mentioned in class, Adobe Illustrator keeps track of the order in which you draw things. So the first object is in the back, the green object is in the middle between the two of them, and the yellow circle is in the front on one layer. If that's fine, then that's fine. If this works for you, it works for you. But as I really start making this thing become more and more and more complex, and I want to try and grab things, and there's something over the thing I want to try and grab, it can become a bit of a pain, right? That you're trying to do this stuff and it's getting more and more complex, and I'm doing all these shapes and I can't reach beyond to get something. It's all about control. So, for example, I've made all of these little lines. Let me zoom in so you can see what I'm doing. And I want to grab them all. But if I try and marquee a box and just get the lines, I'm grabbing everything else. Now, you can lock stuff down, and we'll talk about that in a while. But another way to do this would be if I made a new layer, I'm going to call it red circle. There's a couple ways I can do this. Here's the red circle. It's highlighted on my layer. That little blue square indicates selected art. And so if I take it and I pull it onto the red layer, now the red circle is on its own layer. And so I can take it and pull it down. I can lock it. So now the red circle is not, I can't grab it. And so it's not in my way anymore. I'll do it again. This is the green kind of fleur-de-lis. I'm going to make a new layer. I'll call it green floor. And this time, instead of moving it this way, I've got it selected. I'm going to click on the layer. I'm going to cut, and I'm going to paste. I'll paste in front. And so now there's the green floor on its own layer. And I can grab that layer and move it down. You can manipulate these layers as much as you like. So I'm getting there. One more. Let's do one more. I'll do a yellow circle. I'll grab my yellow circle, and this time I'll pull it right down. And then at this point, all I have left here is the black marks. So I've got this thing kind of parsed out. Now I can lock down these layers, and if I wanted to edit the black marks, I can come in and just deal with the black marks. I can scale them, I can move them around. I have that pinpoint control that I can go in and get very granular with what I'm doing. All right, and then here they all are. Each one is labeled. So this basically is your homework. This is what I want to see. I want to see 4 layers in a 5-inch by 5-inch document, and I want each item to be on its corresponding layer. I want them labeled. I just want to see that you understand what I'm talking about. If I had another layer, just very quickly, let's say I had another layer and I had 2 white circles. The other way to arrange things, I'll get rid of these for now. Let's just talk about this layer. I drew this circle first, I drew this circle second, but I want this circle to be on top. I can go to Object, Arrange, Bring to Front. And if I change my mind, I can go Object, Arrange, Send to Back. I don't use Bring Forward and Send Backward. I don't see the point of them because it only works one layer at a time, and I just don't mess with it. So I don't think you should either. All right, so 2 different ways of arranging things in layers. You can stay on the same layer, or you can use multiple layers. The more complex the illustration is, the more I would say you can work with this. And as I mentioned to you in class, if I grab them all at the same time and I group them, if I decide, okay, I'm done, for good or for ill, this is my target shape, and I'm going to want to manipulate this further from here. If I come to Object Group, watch what happens over here when I do this. Object, where is it? Object Group. Everything underneath, everything on these layers has jumped up to the black mark layer, which is the topmost layer, because items that are grouped have to be grouped in the same layer. Okay, I hope that's clear. This is going to become, the importance of this is going to become very clear to you the moment you start working on your projects, because you're going to start very simple, and very quickly the objects that you create are going to become more and more and more complex. You're going to want this control over what you can do and what you can't.